I wanted to give an actual demonstration with a real customer. This is an actual client of mine.
Yes.
Having their access control overridden with a flat blade screwdriver.
Okay, so we're going to be putting a Pro-Guard full-length latch guard installation on this door, which really needs it because we have access control, which needs to be protected. Okay. A couple of things. We're probably going to have to move this weather stripping back in because you can see that it doesn't let the door slide flush all the way, and sometimes it actually doesn't latch. See, it's just not latching all the way right now if that door comes closed real soft like this. So this is going to help hopefully prevent all that. We notice that there's some rubbing down on the bottom of the threshold, and if you look at the top of the door, we've got some top of the door stuff hitting right there, which is also not going to be good. So we're going to have to address the hinge issues first, and before we start working on installing that, we have to have a healthy opening. So let's work on that first.
On any installation, you always need to do an overall health assessment of the door and the opening and the frame before adding additional weight and material to the door. That's what we're doing now. By using this hinge adjustment tool, there's several options that we could do to fix this problem. This customer elected to not have the hinges replaced. They did not want that additional expense, so they asked if we had a solution with the existing hinges.
Alright, so now we've got our gap back over here. One of the other problems I see with this door is this weather stripping is sticking out. It was not installed flush like this one up here. It's actually installed out just a little bit, which is not a good thing.
Again, when we walk away from this project, we want to make sure that we're addressing all of the issues. If they've had concerns, which they did bring to my attention, that the door is not latching on every close, or it would stay open in some cases, that means that there's a problem with the opening, and we need to address that problem before we start adding more material to the door. So the first thing that we need to do is adjust the weather stripping so that they don't have to push the latch in or push the handle in and then pull back out in order to release the door.
Now that we've got that moved in, that should help this. Yep. They were also complaining and saying that this wasn't releasing, and it was because there was too much pressure. So that seal was actually, see, you'd have to push in. So, like that. So before, it was being held like this, and it doesn't open unless you push in and pull. Okay.
Alrighty, we'll jump right back into the installation of this. And the first thing that we're going to have to do is take off the actual lock set itself. This is a cylindrical lever set, and just based on the constraints of the door and where the frame is, that is going to engage, so we need to remove it. Now that we have the hardware completely off the door, we can go ahead and measure where the electronic strike is. Some electronic strikes do not stick out, some do. In this case, this is an older setup, so this one does stick out. We cannot mount the latch guard over the electronic strike if it does stick out and it's not flush. That's not going to work, it's not going to look right, and it's going to give a leverage point to try and pry on. So we need to go ahead and cut away the angle iron material that is on the frame side. So this is going to be mounted on the frame side, as you can see, and once we have that cut around the electronic strike, we can then mount the two pieces on the frame side. The first thing that we want to address is that this is a concrete filled frame. That is going to matter significantly, because if you try and put your regular hardware store high-speed steel drill bits out of your typical drill bit set onto the metal and drill through it and into the concrete, it is instantly going to be ruined. you're going to go through a bunch of drill bits and you're going to have a very bad day. So one of the tricks that I use to be able to drill into concrete filled frames, which you will definitely run into out in the field, is to use a self-tapping screw to actually drill the hole through the metal. It will cut the metal away, and then if the tip touches the concrete, it's okay because it's already done its job. Then you come back in with a carbide masonry bit and actually drill out the rest of the hole through the concrete so that you can actually set the pop rivets that are going to need to be placed. You see, I use two different drill bits. We use the self-tapping screw, and then you see that longer bit is a multi-material carbide tipped bit that we then drill in with the exact same size of the pop rivets, which are supplied. And we go ahead and you can see, so right there we use the screw, and then now we're using the screw to drill through the metal. As you can see, it takes a couple times, especially being down at the bottom like this, but using that screw will save you tons of money with your drill bits. And then you can see that little poof of dust when we use the carbide bit to drill into the masonry or the concrete or the masonry mortar that's actually in the frame. Now we're using the pop rivet gun. If you have an automatic pop rivet gun or you have a drill-driven pop rivet gun, I'm going to highly recommend that. These are a thick, heavy-duty 3/16 pop rivet, and they were very difficult to break with a hand-powered gun like this. I would definitely invest in the drill-powered pop rivet gun in the future.
Okay, so one of the key aspects of this is actually going to be using this foam to hold it in center.
By using the foam and folding it over several times so that it goes in between the interconnecting or interlocking pieces, this will center the angle iron on the frame side perfectly so that it maintains a space or a gap on each side. As you saw earlier, hinges sag, doors move, foundations shift, and things will move. We're adding more things that need to line up, not just the door in the frame, but the latch guard will need to line up in the future as well, and that foam will help you do that.
All right, so we've got this piece mounted and pop riveted in place. We've got this piece pop riveted in place. We're going to need to drill the through bolts, and we also have the cylindrical lever set back in place, and we had to cut a little bit out right here for that, and everything else seems to be working good, but we're just checking connection right now. So that is positively latching. Good.
It sounds a lot better.
Yeah, it sounds beefy, doesn't it? And then just give me a card reader.
Fun thing,
Cool. All right. Okay, so we've got a drill bit. Should fit. Drill a big enough hole for that.
Now that we're going to be drilling the through holes through stainless steel, it is going to help to have these tapered drill bits like I have here. They have a pilot point on them. If you don't have these particular drill bits, you can always go down a size and start off with a much smaller hole. You could start off with, let's say, a 1/4 inch hole and then expand that up to the larger size that you need. I believe we were using a 3/8 in order to get everything to fit through, but I just measured the drill bit to the through bolt and chose the appropriate drill size to do that. Drilling through stainless steel will be more difficult than drilling through standard steel. So it is a good idea to have a very good, fresh set of quality, high-speed steel drill bits in all sizes, and a few of the carbide masonry bits in a few sizes as well. I also found a technique to work really well with this. Since you're drilling through such thick steel with the door and the latch guard in place, I found that when the tip pokes through, if you flip the drill around, it actually cuts much faster going through the other way and drilling from both sides, as you can see here. Once you drill through both sides, you can then use an impact driver, or you can use a conventional screwdriver to put the round portion of the bolt of the carriage bolt on the secure side of the door, so on the outside of the door, so the round portion goes on the outside of the door where the latch guard is, and the Phillips head side goes on the secure side of the door or the inside of the door. As you move up the door, you're going to continue to lose leverage with your drilling force, so using that step technique is going to be very effective, and it's going to make your arms a whole lot happier with you at the end of the day, especially if you have to install more than one of these. We're now installing one of the through bolts on the bottom. There is no directions as to exactly where these are supposed to get placed, but you want to even them out so that you have good protection all the way up and down the length of the latch guard. If you want to get very particular, you could also measure each one out and do the math. If you've got 6 bolts, you could do the math to space them out evenly, as long as there are no through bolts that are going through at the point where the cylindrical lever set is and where the latch is. Obviously, you do not want to drill through where the locking mechanism is. That's why I gave it a wide berth and gave it quite a bit of space around there. The weak points are obviously going to be the edges at the top and the bottom. So having a through bolt at the very top and having one down close towards the bottom is going to be a leverage plus as far as pry resistance. That's where the weak points are. So the more you can strengthen those points and the more you can reinforce those locations, that's where people are going to attack the most, and that's where you need to have the most support. So that's why I put these bolts in the pattern that I did in this location. This is turning out to be a great install, and again, using that step drill technique is going to save your arms, save your drill, and save your drill bits. It's going to generate less heat and less pressure to accomplish the same goal. Here we are cleaning up.
It's bright out here.
Oh, wow.
Hear it, thud?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's rock solid. And I even showed him that you could grab in there with the screwdriver. So we just cut it out from there, and then we also reset that door over, adjusted those hinges so that it had more room because it was hitting up here and it was hitting down here. Recentered the door. Have to do that before we put the latch guard in, because then everything's got to line up perfectly with this, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you've got these big rivets, 6 big giant through bolts that go all the way through.
We have the customer check everything out, and obviously they are extremely happy with this installation. They love the durability, the security that it added, and it solved the problem of people being able to slip that latch from the outside. For more information, check out Pro-Lok, and there is a link down below to the full-length latch guard to help keep your customers secure as well. Thank you.